probably about that depth from the field. If you go too far out, if you went to the line, yeah, just about there and just kind of cut back and forth.
Good evening, everyone on the screen. Brad Vasco back at you. Thank you, Brian. Eagerly past couple of days pulled in. We are excited to beautiful Tuesday evening. Second meeting, last game of the season, the last game of the conference. Sorry, it's okay.
Regular season finale. Central Catholic and Grant, Central East Side, going toe-to-toe here. This finishes off the season. The postseason's right around the corner, and what a way to finish things off for getting underway off the opening face-off. Happy to have you along with us here on Oregon Sports Beat. I'm Chris Clayton with legendary lacrosse coach Dave Sanford. We'll go through your resume more as we go on here, but it should be an interesting battle. It's a Grant team coming into this one 8-11 on the season, 5-4 in conference play against a CC team that is 2-13 overall and 1-8 in conference play. Dave, what do you think is going to be a key in this game?
We've already seen some quick transition play, a lot of hustle, ground balls in the middle of the field as both teams try to establish themselves early. The first contest was won pretty handily by Grant. These kids all played together as kids in the Eastside Portland Youth Lacrosse program, so they're very familiar with each other. There are a lot of rivalries, and this is, kind of like an Oregon State game. The records go out the window,
right,
and whoever really gets after it is going to be the team that comes out on top today.
And you've got two young teams here that lost a lot of players from last year and have gone through some growing pains this year, but certainly a lot of talent. Getting downhill and ripping the shot too high over the top was a nice attack there coming out of the hand of Micah Hall. And the backup is there, possession still with Grant. Grant in those black uniforms and white helmets. Central Catholic defending right now in all white. This is possession for Connell Wilkinson. Looking to put on a move. Wilkinson spinning back and tossing it over to Finley Vigna. But taken away, well defended. That's Lucian McHale, the LSM, who's been so good this year for Central Catholic.
Lucian McHale is a third-generation Ram and one of the real motors of this team. He plays defense, he plays offense, he faces off. Coach described him as a real Swiss Army knife.
Saw it on that previous play, but then a turnover by Central Catholic picked up by Beckett Kroger. And Grant with it again. Pass towards the middle, underhand shot, knocked away, nice save. The shot came out of the hand of Finley Vigna, and it's saved well. A nice job in the net.
Adrian Ramirez-Zoco in the goal for Central Catholic, 62% on the season. Only his third year playing lacrosse. Big game from him is going to have a huge impact here. And Grant's shooters will be challenged, to stop the ball. 62%, way over average for goalies at this level.
And impressive for a young player. He's a junior, still another year of development. He's gotten a lot better over the course of the season, and like you said, he's going to be challenged today against a Grant team that's hungry for a win. This is a Grant squad that's lost 3 games in a row. Their last coming in the heartbreaking 10-line loss at the hands of Lincoln on Saturday. The 3 losses for Grant: OES, Hood River, and Lincoln. 3 of the best in the conference. So when you add the context there, the teams are losing to some of the best in the Columbia Conference has to offer. Beckett Sub with possession, sprinting and tossing it up to Cullen Brennan. Now they swing it around back to Wilkinson. And turned over. Possession goes back to Central Catholic. Just over 3 minutes into this first quarter.
Rams do a good job spreading the field on the clear.
Ty Newberry able to clear it over. Now they're throwing the left side. This is Jack Crayford, but he lost it. It's taken away by Peter Bamer. The juniors got it for Grant Central East side, and now some space to operate, and the shot is finished. It's sent in by Kai Yanago, the sophomore. Like a little bit of a gamble trying to turn that one over, and it freed up Yanago for the shot down the middle.
The riding and clearing game is an incredibly important part of lacrosse. It's not often perceived as the most valuable thing because people, they imagine set offense is where, all the action's going to happen. Getting the ball up and down and protecting it is huge in terms of gaining advantage and setting momentum in games. And a lot of the success comes down to just real commitment to your fundamentals.
Grant able to win the faceoff once again. That's Calvin Mackey. Mackey's able to come away with it. Gets it over to Sub. So the opening goal for Yanago and Grant, with 7:38 and counting to go in the first, they've got the advantage. These teams did play once already this year, and an 8-3 victory in that one for Grant over Central Catholic. Pass towards the middle into some traffic. Underhand shot knocked away. That was Beckett Sub on the shot. Ramirez Orozco comes up with another save. Ball loose on the turf. Still loose. Popped in the air. And the aggressive approach. It's Cooper Dolezal Sweeney trying to come up with it. Nobody has it yet. Still loose on the turf. Finally scooped up by Grant. It's Vincent Trueworthy who came up with it. Great battle there. And Trueworthy comes out with a shot and sails off to the right side, a miss.
Grant really showing again that they are quick to attack off the ground and in transition and getting a lot of goal shots on goal. Zoko standing big so far, keeping Central Catholic in this game early.
Now it's possession for Beckett Kroger, putting on the move. Pass, looking for the shot, rips it, finishes. Wow, with authority, Cooper Dolezal Sweeney. And a 2-0 lead for Grant.
Kroger also a second-generation player for Grant. His older brother is currently playing in college at the University of Montana. A team that made a recent trip to the MCLA Division II National Championship Tournament on an at-large bid, and and his dad is one of the architects of Eastside Lacrosse, and a former coach at Central Catholic from way back in the day.
It's almost like you know a thing or two about lacrosse in Oregon, Dave.
I have been here for a minute, I guess you could say.
Yes, you have. You're an assistant coach at Oregon State. I'm sure a lot of people watching know who you are here. Senior Director of True Lacrosse Oregon, President of the Oregon Youth Lacrosse, and a True National Team head coach, and we're happy to have you along with us. I'm sure a lot of these players you coach and know or familiar with.
There's a good number of kids that are, I'm currently coaching in the club lacrosse world on both sides of the game here, and there's some great families again who we talk about like multi-generational things, and one of the things that makes this game great, like there's kids on the sidelines who I coached somewhere like 10 years ago, and they're here watching their little brothers play, supporting them, And, you know, like this sense of community in our sport here in Oregon, I think has really been a big part in terms of the growth and the success, where you're seeing kids in the NCAA Division I tournament on almost every team that's in the playoffs. There's a kid from Oregon who's a star on that team. And that's pretty rare for, you know, an outlying area in the lacrosse world.
Certainly seen it grow, and we see two teams that graduated a ton of talent from last year and are reloaded on this year's team with young players that'll likely be in the college ranks eventually as well. By the way, during that sequence, it was a nice job in the net. The goalie today for Grant, Eli Sandgaith, doing a nice job coming up with a save.
Eli is coming back off of an injury. He did not participate in the last couple of games where Grant was not successful. A thumb injury, which I think has been a recurring thing for him. But back in there today for this one. And it looks like we're going to have a man-up situation here for Central Catholic. I honestly did not see what the penalty was.
Yeah, there was some physicality near the middle of the field. And now, like you said, the Rams, a man up. A great opportunity here for Central Catholic. Down a couple goals. This is Lazat. On the right side to Sam Martin. Tossed in the X. This is Jack Crayford. Now back to Lazat. Exhibiting this patience. Central Catholic a man up, looking for the best possible shot opportunity here.
Really a nice man-up scheme put in place by head coach John Finnegan. You see a lot of players moving off ball. You see everybody moving the ball quickly. Grant's defense, big and aggressive, getting out and challenging at every pass, rotating to the backside at the same time.
Dean Peterson gets it off to Sam Martin. Now back to Lazat. Left-handed shot that sails. That was Jack Crayford on the shot. Sandgate comes up with a save. Central Catholic trying to maintain possession. Grant comes away with it. A man down, and the Generals able to battle through it and come up with a stop. Now trying to get down and counter the other way in a full sprint. Losing his footing, going down, and a flag flies. That was Enzo Barsati Luperini. They call him Enzo Luperini, and he drew a whistle on the play.
Interesting to see him play in pole. I have not seen Grant play this spring, but all through his youth career, he was an offensive player in EPL and in the club lacrosse world with True and with Team Oregon. He's you know, a big athlete, like that big kid tearing down the middle of the field right there as a freshman.
Yeah, impressive.
And, you know, getting to the foul line. Now we'll see man up on the other side of the field. Here you'll see the offenses change formation and move the ball. Goal is to just get the defense spinning.
Getting downhill, putting on some moves. The underhand shot from Wilkinson is knocked away. Central Catholic down a couple goals, clearing and battling the other way with Ty Newbury. Newbury battling through contact there.
Great ground ball and a great kill on that penalty, and now another flag is down on Grant.
So that'll even things up a little bit. Central Catholic playing down a player, the flag down. Lazat. Now off the right side with this is Joe Denny, another freshman. Sprinting into the X. Off to Lazat. Lazat, a second-team all-conference selection last year in the Columbia Conference. There's a whistle and some flags to sort out here. So Central Catholic back up to full strength. And now Grant will be down a player.
I think they're going to be down two.
Down two, yes. Well, this could be huge. What's the key to execution in this situation if you're CC?
If you're CC, you want to, the defense is going to be packed in. You want to get the ball to a place, where you've got a good shooter, who can get his hands free and let one go. Like defensively, it's really here about understanding your defense. We talk a lot about you're going to give up shots when you're 2 men down. We talk a lot about giving up shots that you want your goalie to see. Like if your goalie is great outside, you want to jam the middle. If your goalie is not good at outside shots, you've got to extend more, but you got to realize that there's going to be something exposed here if the ball moves quick enough, and Central's doing a good job of moving the ball quick so far in this game.
Got it with Sam Martin now. He tosses down to the X to the junior Jack Crayford. Back to Martin. Pass intended for Lazat, gets away. He goes to track it down. Now Martin dodging, pushed, lost his footing. Flag flies. And just when Grant was able to get back to full strength, they're tagged with another foul with 2:17 to go in this first quarter. And we reach a timeout on the field. 2-0 lead for Grant. But you're kind of getting the sense here Central Catholic is getting some opportunities as they've had a couple chances at a player up, but have not been able to find the net yet.
The place I think where Grant has had the most clear-cut advantage has been in the face-off category, which has led to some extra possessions. Central Catholic has done a good job getting stops behind the goalie play of Adrian Ramirez-Zoco, and we've seen some great clearing out of the back end by junior short stick midfielder Ty Newberry, particularly where he got that ground ball when they were man down, and just running it out. So very much, Lacrosse, a game of runs. Like a 2-0 lead in the first quarter is really, it's like a 2-0 lead at the beginning of a basketball game.
Right.
Really, teams are still feeling each other out a little bit. I feel like Central's offense is developing more and more confidence holding the ball as the game goes through. And if they continue to have these man-up opportunities, it's really going to tip the scales in their favor.
Yeah, this has been a game where the officials not been afraid to let those flags fly, and both teams have found situations where they've been up a player, and even Central Catholic for a time were up a couple players. So let's see out of the timeout if Central Catholic can take advantage here. Again, these teams already played once, and it was an 8-3 final score in that game. It was a win for Grant. And that happened on April 25th on a Thursday. So about 3 weeks ago now.
Central's defense right now also super young. 2 freshmen on the field, number 29, Xander Mishkin, and number 11, Sasha Colley, along with Gus Lefebvre, number 6, who is one of the main engines of this team as well.
So Grant's still down a player here. A shot from a tough angle, not on target from Bo Rolak. The backups there, and Central Catholic maintaining possession. Here's Martin. Still swinging the ball, keeping the ball moving against this man-down defense of Grant. Peterson goes back to Crayford. There's Rolak again with it. London Talbot. Rolak dodging, little hesitation move off a couple picks. Goes over to Talbot. Still looking to find that opening. Peterson tossing into traffic, nobody there, but it is tracked down, still in play by Talbot. Back to Crayford. Throws it up to Martin. Martin's a freshman. Can find some space, cutting right, tossing a shot past Sandgate, but it is collected. Quick shot into traffic, and the attempt is just off target from Lazat.
Great possession, great ball movement from Central right here. Looking very good in a deliberative 6-on-6 game.
As Grant defense back to full strength. Still possession for CC for an extended period of time now. Shot sails again. CC still with it. 40 seconds to go now in this first quarter. Clock and play stop for a moment as the official tosses the extra ball off the field and we play on. Off the screen, Martin now spinning back to the left. The pass into traffic, and it's collected by Sandgate. Trying to get it to Crayford near the net. Oh, it's nearly turned over. Dangerous. Sandgate just able to get rid of it. Whew. Almost a gift for Central Catholic and disaster for Grant, but we play on.
Sandgate gets pretty lucky right there. Rule is when that guy puts a stick up, he cannot touch the goalie. If the goalie's stick goes forward and it goes into his stick, it's an interference call on the defending team. But stick goes straight up, ball goes in. That's a lucky move.
Sub.
That's
no goal
after the whistle.
After the whistle. The first quarter comes to an end. A nice finish by Sub, but just as you said, Dave, not going to count. So pretty up and down, action-packed first quarter. And ultimately, it is Grant Central Eastside with a 2-0 lead over Central Catholic. It's senior day for the Rams. We'll take a quick 30-second break. We'll be back with the second quarter coming up next here on Oregon Sports Beat. Nice job. All right, we're back with the second quarter. 2-0 lead. Grant leading Central Catholic. We're happy to have you along with us here from Hidden Creek Park. Chris Clayton and Dave Sanford with you. Grant with a couple of goals on the board. They did it within the first 6 minutes or so of that first quarter. The 2 goals so far for the Generals coming from Yanago and Dolezal Sweeney. What stood out to you in that first quarter, Dave?
Different styles of play. Grant, when they get the ball, they're going to the goal right away. Central Catholic shown that they can really control the ball for extended periods of time, whether they're man up or whether at even strength. And again, face-offs all going Grant's way in the first half. Central's going to need some counters if they're going to get back into it here. And so what they do there is they put a pole on the face-off, and it forces the Grant player into a violation. But quick turnover gets the ball back to Grant anyway.
Grant able to get it back. And in possession once again. Central Catholic held possession of the ball for the final 2+ minutes of that first quarter. Got a couple decent shot opportunities. Not able to finish though. And now Grant going this way. The Generals 5-4 record this year in Columbian Conference play. The shot saved well. That was hot off the stick of Dolezal Sweeney, and Ramirez Orozco comes up with another save. He's coming in hot there on the high shot attempt, and he's able to make the stick play.
Yeah, pretty big save. A lot of heat on that shot. See Central Catholic, good teamwork to clear the ball, get it into the offensive zone. See if they attack quickly or if they continue to grind the clock and try to wear down Grant's defense.
Are there any adjustments you expect from Central Catholic in this second quarter?
The main thing for Central Catholic, I think what they're doing is pretty good. When until they got to right there.
Right.
But what I
Rolak
was
lost the stick.
going to say is that, like, they're moving the ball, controlling it on the perimeter well. They haven't necessarily, like, got it inside at the right time or delivered it inside perfectly where somebody can handle it in tight space. But the looks are there, and they're well coached. Coach Finnegan was a star offensive player at the University of Oregon, so he's well versed in teaching kids how to find those opportunities and take advantage of them. I think that the Grant team appears really super athletic to me, and I think that skilled game with a lot of ball movement probably going to set them more up for success than one guy trying to run through a bunch of guys. Other thing that is happening right now off ball, Grant's goalie, you can't see this on the screen, but Grant's goalie is far out of the goal, which leads me to believe that we're going to see Grant going into a 10-man ride as soon as they turn the ball over here.
Well, they got a shot attempt just now from Wilkinson that would just sail a little bit high. And now possession off the whistle goes back to Central Catholic.
Yep. So what's happening off camera right now, there is no one in the goal for Grant. Grant's goalie is up guarding one of the Central Catholic attackmen, and this creates more pressure in the middle of the field.
Central Catholic's able to beat it with Peterson. Trying for the shot, but knocked away from behind. Well done, that's Ryan Doss. And possession back to Grant.
You give up goals sometimes when you do it, but the advanced metrics tell you that it succeeds more than it makes you look silly. But when you get scored on with no one in the goal, it does indeed look silly.
Right. So the aggressive approach by Grant, and CC handled it pretty well. Just couldn't quite get the shot on they wanted. Just over 3 minutes into the second quarter, the first 2 goals of this game coming within the first 6 minutes from Yanago and Dolezal Sweeney for the Grant Generals. Grant led by head coach Henry Ling, assistant Matt Lai. Those two the conference coaches of the year last year in the Columbia Conference. And another aggressive shot skips off target. That's the senior Connell Wilkinson who rips another shot. It's possession still with Grant. Beckett Sub tosses on to Dolezal Sweeney. Dolezal Sweeney going back to the right side over to Wilkinson. Dangerous pass over the top, and it is nearly turned over. It's still loose on the turf and scooped up. That's Gus Lefevre. Lefevre not able to, yes, he does have it. It's a foul called against Grant to give possession to Central Catholic.
So they whistled it as an over and back call, and now they are debating whether there was a change of possession that called off the over and back.
Yeah, that pass was off target, went back over the midfield line.
The other thing that happens here, officials are doing a good job. They clarify what they all saw to try to get the call right, and then the game slows down for a minute to allow the teams to have the appropriate personnel on the field so that nobody gets advantage out of the restart. You see Grant coming out heavy here with 2 poles on the ball.
Peterson able to get rid of it, avoiding that pressure. London Talbot has it on the left side. And back to Lizotte. The all-conference attacker passing towards the middle, knocked away, but it's collected by Peterson. He's trying to get it to the cutting Rolak. And handled well by Sandgaith again.
Shot right there from the senior captain, London Talbot on target.
Oof, near turnover there, almost picked up by Sam Martin. But running the other way, this is Trueworthy. Worthy, a junior. Not a lot of seniors on this Grant team. In fact, there's only 3 seniors on this young squad. Sub dodging. He's being checked by Coley, the freshman. And he tosses up to Johnny Raphael. The junior Raphael showing the quickness, getting off to the right, firing a shot, and Ramirez Orozco's got another save. Went down to his knees to collect that one. Quickly trying to transition the other way. This is Owen Donegan. Trying to pass back towards the middle. It's deflected. Loose on the turf and scooped up by Crayford.
We're seeing Central come up with a lot more ground balls this this period than they did in the first period, playing with a lot more confidence, not shying away from the pressure applied by the bigger Grant defenders.
Yeah, looks like Crayford, who handled it well, a little bit tired there coming out of the pack with the ball. Taking a second to catch his breath. It's being defended by the senior Carter Alfrey. Now Rolick has it. Takes a shot. It was a spinning shot to his right. Went over his head. Just a little off target. Central still in possession. It's with Peterson. Lost the handle. It's turned over, scooped up well. Nice defensive play again by Ryan Doss. Now transitioning the other way, this is Vigno with it. With a 2-0 lead, more than halfway through the second quarter. It's Grant back in possession. They rotate in the personnel they want on the field.
The basic positions in lacrosse: attackmen staying on the offensive side of the field, defenders and the goalie on defense, midfielders in theory going up and back and forth.
Dolezal Sweeney again. Sorry, Dave. Second goal for Dolezal Sweeney, and it's a 3-0 lead for Grant.
Even prettier than his previous goal. Mm-hmm. Great catch and shoot.
Able to fire it off, kind of sidearm there to the right. Just able to get past Ramirez Orozco, who's certainly been challenged today.
He's come up with a lot of saves. Mm-hmm. I think it's a question of, how soon Grant will realize that the shots that have gone in have been situations where they're dodging, they're drawing help defense out, and they're moving the ball quickly to the backside for a catch and shoot. When they're just running at the goal and shooting, Zoko is smothering those shots all day.
So Grant trying to take advantage of these consistent possessions that they're getting throughout this game, especially off face-offs where they've had certainly an advantage so far. Wilkinson getting some space and bouncing it in. That's Connell Wilkinson, the senior, and it's suddenly, within the course of about 40 seconds, 2 goals for Grant and a 4-0 lead. So now it's kind of a test for Central Catholic to see if they can take a breath here and kind of get back on track.
Defense a little slow to slide right there, perhaps thinking the same thing I was thinking, that, when the guys are just dodging and shooting, we're getting saves. We don't need to slide. Looks like maybe we do.
Right. And again, Grant able to come away with it. Off the face-off, that's Calvin Mackey who's got it. Racing down the right sideline. You can see Grant starting to build in confidence as they're taking control of this game with this 4-0 lead. Four goals so far from 3 different players. Less than 4 to go in this second quarter. Hall spinning right. He got a couple defenders riding him. Aggressive defense, and he's able to get rid of it off to Wilkinson. Back to the left side. Wow, fires it in. What a finish. That's Trueworthy for goal number 5.
Kind of the same story on that one. Dodge, draw. That time we draw the double. We move it to the backside. You know, same spot almost as 2 of the other goals, catch and shoot. Central's going to take a timeout. We got to talk about how they want to try and defend this Grant offense, which is starting to catch a little fire here in the second quarter.
Yeah, a lot of it's a game of numbers, right? Like to your point, if player in possession draws 2 defenders, chances are if you have it, you're Micah Hall. Someone else is freed up, right? If you got 2 of the defenders on you, and it sounds simple, but when you execute like that, you find yourself racking up 5 goals.
There are a couple of different ways that people tend to train for lacrosse, where they will have a lot of set plays, where it's almost like a football kind of playbook, or where you practice almost everything is an unsettled situation, so that kids develop the IQ to play once that double team has come. Because that is real. Until that double team comes, until somebody beats somebody, like you're really sort of playing catch on the perimeter. But once you force the defense to rotate, someone is open. You just have to realize where that person is and get the ball there before the defense can recover. Okay. Sort of becomes a chess match.
Right. And we've seen Grant able to execute that a couple times and rack up 3 goals in this second quarter, all in the course of the last about 2 minutes to build themselves now a 5-0 lead. For Central Catholic, what do you think the conversation is about here with John Finnegan and his team?
I think offensively, they're talking about how they break the barrier and get one on the board before halftime. And they're getting good possessions when they do. Shots need to be a little better. Spacing needs to be a little better to kind of get the shots from better angles. Defensively, they just got to talk through their slides. On that last goal on the backside, they had Grant had a player low on the crease. They had the player who scored up high. Central had 1 defender splitting them, both on the backside. And so he's got to kind of favor the low guy, because you want to give up the outside shot more than you want to give up the inside shot. But it's really hard to, get out if the guy can shoot from range there.
Right.
Central comes up with a face-off.
Yeah. Lucian McHale comes up with it for Central Catholic, and that's a great sign. It's something that Grant's pretty much dominated today. Lazat's got possession now for the Rams. Peterson surveys the field, got it in the corner, and tosses up to Martin.
Martin's a freshman. Coach was speaking highly of him in the pregame. Thinks there's a bright future for him.
He's passing the middle, not able to get a shot away, though. It was knocked out away from Talbot. Martin trying to go into the middle to Josh Wildman. Wildman not able to collect it.
2 good looks inside, just failure to control the ball.
Goes back to Grant. To clear it down the other way. Trueworthy, who just had a goal before the timeout. Did a nice job with the ball on his stick. Gives it off to Kroger. Now back over to Micah Hall. He's able to come up with the assist on that last goal as well. Wilkinson in possession, working on the defense of Newbury. Kroger passing up top. Hall fires and scores. Michael Hall, assist and now a goal in the last 90 seconds of play.
Seems at this point it might be worth noting that Hall and Dolenzal Sweeney both transfers to Grant from Central Catholic.
A little extra sweet for them when they were able to come up with big-time plays, helping the team to a 6-0 lead. Ramirez Orozco was down for a moment. He is back up. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like he's in a little discomfort there in the cage for Central Catholic. Although it could just be a little frustration. He wasn't able to come up with a save. Got to be a competitor if you're going to be an effective goalie at this level. Well done. Another face-off win. Look at the tricky pass over the top. London Talbot able to flip it over the shoulder to Newberry. And he had to. He's being harassed by multiple defenders. Getting creative to keep possession for CC.
Nothing wrong with a little sizzle. It's part of what makes this game fun and special.
Martin trying to split the defense.
He tried to execute what's called a swim move there. Referees say that he used his free hand to gain advantage. What they called was warding off. From my vantage point, I didn't see him touch anything. But, you know, their vantage point and our vantage point are not the same.
Worthy spinning back to the left. Grant is really settled in offensively. It was a long stretch of this game. Central Catholic was thwarting their attack and keeping them stagnant, but Grant has really exploded here late in the second quarter. On the move is Johnny Raphael. Now the pass behind the cage. Duvigna. Dodging right. Dolezal Sweeney's got it. He's got a couple goals in this first half. Back to Raphael, trying to create some space. Down to 27 seconds to go in this first quarter, or first half, I should say. Dolezal Sweeney, aggressive shot, knocked away by Ramirez Orozco. That was Beckett Sub on the attempt. And the save with 10 seconds left in the second quarter. He went out of the crease. So with 6 seconds, it's an opportunity for Grant. Kroger able to finish. What a job by Grant. In the closing seconds, they get their 7th goal.
Unlucky right there. Goalie steps out of the crease with the ball and then back into the crease, apparently. That is something you are not allowed to do. Grant, Ray are ready on the quick restart, and they capitalize with a big kind of exclamation point on their first half.
There was Kroger on the goal, and that is 5 goals this second quarter, all coming in the last about 4 minutes of this quarter. And you said exclamation mark. That's a good way to describe how they've ended this first half. And now with 1 second, it's another violation against Central Catholic. Launching the shot, and it's halftime. Wow. What a finish. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if Central had used both of their timeouts by that point or not, but generally, like, if that kind of situation happens at the end of the half, and you can call, if it's a dead ball, you can call timeout on defense. Always a great time to just kind of kill the play and make sure that you're set. And then offensively, you practice that. You get to do it a couple times a year. You hope that you get mileage out of it. And, they took advantage of the opportunity there for sure.
Yeah, give credit to the coaches and players. They were absolutely ready for those 6 seconds and executed the play beautifully. And you could see how fired up they were. That's got to be satisfying to work on something for a few weeks and then finally pull it out and you finish it off as a team. That's got to feel good. And they was able to give Grant their 7th goal, and it's been a really impressive half for Grant Central East side. They're leading Central Catholic here on Senior Day. And let's talk about what's ahead here from Oregon Sports Beat. We're happy to have you along with us today at Hidden Creek Park, as it's been a fun season of lacrosse coverage. And this is the regular season finale, and we've got the postseason coming up right around the corner. Starting off the OHSLA playoffs. That's the boys' playoffs starting up on Friday. And you see all the way through the quarterfinals. You'll be able to catch all those on OregonSportsBeat.com. And then we'll be looking ahead after that to the semifinals. And those will be really fun as the kind of the big guns will be still remaining in the postseason at that point. That'll be at Westland High School on Wednesday, May 29th, as we decide who's going to play in the championship, which we will also have coverage of. Coming up June 1st, the championship and the All-Star game. It's a packed day. It's not just the championship. There's the Cascade bracket final as well, the All-Star game. So all the best that the state has to offer is coming up June 1st. That'll be a great time. And, of course, we've got coverage of the girls' postseason as well, the OGLA finals. That'll be at Oregon City Pioneer Stadium. Full coverage of that, starting with the semifinals of the silver and gold bracket final. That's what's ahead from Oregon Sports Beat. 7-0 our score. Let's take a break for a few minutes here from Hidden Creek Park. Central Catholic with some work to do, but give some credit to the Generals. Big lead on Oregon Sports Beat. Second half underway. Just about 10 seconds in. It's a 7-0 lead for Grand Central Eastside over Central Catholic. Happy to have you along with us on Oregon Sports Scene. I'm Chris Clayton with Dave Sanford. And it's a tough finish to the second quarter for Central Catholic. Give some credit to Grant. They've been able to rack up these 7 goals. What do you think are some big adjustments Central Catholic could make in the second half to find some success here on Senior Day, Dave?
The stats of the game don't necessarily add up to a 7-0 game in a lot of situations. Ground balls, Central Catholic has 13, Grant has 14. Saves, Central Catholic has 7, Grant has 6. Difference is, is the number of shots that were taken, which goes into time possession, which goes back into faceoffs. So I feel like Central just needs to be more patient with their offense. Try to just get into this one goal at a time. As we see Sam Martin try to kind of run through the middle there, Like, we need to get the teamwork going a little better and try to really get those open looks on the backside that Grant has been succeeding with on the other side. And they can be kind of back in this game in a hurry,
Yeah.
You run off a few goals, 7-3.
Right.
Halfway through the third quarter is a very different game from 7-0. And here's a great takeaway on the ride from Central Catholic. Hopefully they'll capitalize on it.
Augie Lazat, Jack Crayford involved in that play, able to get possession back for the Rams. Setting up the offense here. Crayford had the ball on a stick. He tosses over to London Talbot, one of the seniors here on Senior Day. Talbot surveys. Running towards the back of the cage. He's got it now drifting there, looking towards the middle, trying to lob it into traffic, and nearly collected in a group by Rolak, but taken away, and Grant's got it. Lobbing it forward and running down. They've got some space to operate here with Ollie Rabateau. Back to the left side, and the execution by Grant. Maybe one more pass they could have got a shot on there. Instead, they'll slow it down a little bit with Beckett Kroger.
Nice rotation from Central Catholic's defense to get in and shut off that break right there.
Saw some success in those fast breaks a couple times for Grant in the first half. Not able to get it done this time. Wilkinson working on the defense of Ty Newbury. Wilkinson drifting out, throwing behind the cage, rotated around back to Kroger. Passing in the middle, and the shot is off target. Grant able to find a player in the middle there and get a shot on. You consistently see teams try and get it there, that dangerous spot just outside the crease, right in the middle. Underhand shot rifled in by Wilkinson. Connell Wilkinson gets his second goal, and Grant continues from that big second quarter. They've got another here in the third.
More crisp ball movement on the Grant offense there. Another shot from the outside. Those low-to-low shots from the outside can be hard for the goalie to see when there's so much traffic in front of them. A lot of times you want to tell kids to change planes, so if you're shooting overhand, you want to shoot low. If you're shooting underhand, you want to try to shoot high. But when the goalie can't see through all of the defenders and the offensive players cutting through, it's a great time to just let that low-to-low fly, and that's what we just saw.
Jostling for possession in the circle. Still loose on the turf. And the battle ultimately won by Grant. Trueworthy lost his footing, trying to pop up with it. Rolling along the turf. Somehow flips right into the stick of Sub after all that. Lefebvre riding. Sub lost it. Strong defense by Lefebvre. Big collision. Look at the physicality in the corner. And scooped up. Kroger's got it for Grant. Kroger underhand kicked away by Ramirez Orozco. Trying to roll it back to the goalie, Lefebvre. But Kroger with a heady play sneaking in and picking it up. Finley Vigna's got it. Got it in the X again. Spinning towards the middle. And a foul, that's against Grant. Possession back to Central Catholic with 7:35 to go in the third.
Either a warding off call or a in the crease call there. Couldn't really tell what the referee's hand signal was. It's another great clear from number 5, Ty Newberry.
Newberry, another junior, another player that'll come back next year for this Central Catholic team that's excited for their future for good reason. A lot of young, talented players. You can't replace game experience, and these junior, freshmen, and sophomore have got a lot of that this year for the Rams. Of course, this is senior day here in the regular season finale. 6 seniors on the Rams roster. Playing in their last regular season game here today. Crayford tosses up to Joe Denny. Back to Martin.
Nice ball control by Denny and nice exit to get distance from his defender before passing that ball off. Another good decision, dodging, drawing a slide, keeping the ball hot.
Crayford looking for the pass, it's too high. And over and back. Possession to Grant quickly. And the Generals wasting no time with Beckett Kroger. More than halfway through the third quarter, 1 goal on the board for Grant so far. Goals today for Grant: Yanago, Trueworthy, Hall, and Kroger. 2 goals for Dolezal, Sweeney, and Wilkinson. These 8 goals from 6 different players. This is George Pitzer. He's just a freshman. Find a lane. Pitzer.
He's gotten his first action of the day. Really nice outside shot, actually. We'll see if we get to see it or not. It's a great save.
Ramirez Orozco again able to save it away there. He's been peppered with shots here today, and you mentioned earlier he's got that 62% on the season. Probably has around that here today.
He was 50% at halftime, and I'd say he's well above that here as he eats up another one.
He's got another one. Another low shot that came off the stick of Finley Vigna, the junior. Newberry able to battle through. Ty Newberry barreling over defenders. And Lazat tosses on to Crayford. Lazat rifling it in, kicked away by Sandgate. Trying to shove it back in again was Talbot, to no avail. Central Catholic ramping up their urgency here. But well done, able to come away with it out of a pack. That was Peter Bamer, the LSM. There's a flag down on the play. Dolezal Sweeney. Going back to Wilkinson. Being defended by Martin. To Hall. Wheeling right, and his pass a little bit off target, intended for Sub. Kroger able to pick it up. Clock leaking under 4 minutes left of the third quarter. Now Dolezal Sweeney. Dodging right, a little bit of space. Pass towards the middle, but it's mishandled. Rolling towards the end line. And out of play, it's a Grant turnover. No, actually, I think there's a foul on the play. It looks like it's still possession here with Grant. The Generals still have it.
There was a flag down early in that possession. I didn't really see what the referees called. And play on goes until the ball goes out of bounds or the other team gets possession of the ball. And sometimes it can go on for a while.
Right.
Get a flag down against you when you're losing by 1 goal, it can be the end of you because there's not much you can do.
Continuing to show that patience, making the extra pass as they cycle the ball around. Kroger chucking it into a pack, and it's collected for a moment by Coley, the freshman, scooped right back up by Grant's Connell Wilkinson. He has it knocked away. It popped in the air, and it's picked up by Sub.
Nice check in there by Lucien McHale.
And the junior's been really good today, as he's been all season. Ripping a shot in, collected by Ramirez Orozco. Wilkinson trying with all his might there with some power. Couldn't get it by him. But a quick turnover by CC. John I. Raphael has it. Liam Casey defending. Raphael showing the speed, but well defended there by Casey off the right side to Sub. And he goes down to Kroger. His pass off target. Bitten Carter couldn't pick it up. Over and back. Possession to Central Catholic. Haven't seen a lot of those miscues today from Grant. Joe Denny with it, one of the youngest players out there, just a freshman. Trying to pass towards the middle, knocked away.
Yeah.
Defensive vassal there.
It's a tough pass to make there.
Uh-oh, that was a miscue there by Sandgate. His pass off target, collected by Rolak, but he has it knocked away. Body's hitting the turf. Nobody has it yet. Jostling for possession. Ouch.
They got that one.
Fly. Yep. It looked like Jack Crayford maybe took a shot to the head there. It's a hold called. And that was against Vincent Trueworthy for Grant. And we have a timeout with 55 seconds to go in the third quarter. An 8-0 lead for Grant. They've only got the 1 goal in this third quarter so far. And Grant continuing to keep Central Catholic off the board. What's the biggest adjustments you've seen in this third quarter so far?
Central's defense has been doing a better job sliding and rotating. Their defensive middies are getting out and challenging Grant's dodging midfielders way up by the midfield line, so they are getting the ball out of their sticks earlier. And this is enabling the defense to protect the backside better. Also, a lot of great saves have been here. Again, a lot of defense is getting offenses to take the shots that your goalie wants to see. You know, the Central Catholic goalie has been all over Grant's shots this quarter. Offensively, they still kind of need to put it together. There's like some good initiation around the outside, but the ball not necessarily getting, fed inside at the right times, or when somebody can, is in a good position to handle the ball and be successful. Haven't really had a lot of shots. I'm not sure what the stat is in this quarter, but in the second quarter, the Grant goalie only had 1 save, whereas in the first quarter he had 5. So, really they just got to get the ball in cage, get the shots to be a little better.
They tried to get a shot on cage there quickly from Sam Martin. They've got possession here with Martin up top, tossing on the right side to Lefebvre.
They've been man up a lot to not have scored.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's been extended periods of man up play, even up 2 players for a certain period of time in this game. Trying to get it into traffic there in the middle in the Rolac, taken away by Grant. Grant clears the crowd. Peter Bamer, and he gets it ahead out in front to Rabateau.
There's a great check.
Yep.
Gus is out there with a short stick now. Gets his own ground ball. Ball's back up the field. And
that'll do it. Third quarter comes to an end, and an 8-0 lead for Grant over Central Catholic. So the Rams trying to find their footing offensively, just not quite able to do so yet. Grant putting up some strong numbers here, and Central Catholic at home here on Senior Day, trying to finish strong in this fourth quarter. The wind starting to pick up a little bit as this is customary in Portland. Once the sun goes down, the temperature tends to drop just a bit. Pretty excited to see how things shake out in terms of the postseason. The official playoff rankings will be released tomorrow. And we'll decide who plays who in the brackets. Again, on Oregon Sports, we'll have coverage of the postseason coming up as well. But this is that time of year where coaches want their teams peaking and playing their best lacrosse with the postseason right around the corner.
this is true, and Grant at number 12, pretty safely going to the state tournament. Central Catholic at number 22, coming into this game kind of on the bubble. They could be a lower seed in the state tournament. They could end up in the Cascade Cup, which is the kind of second-tier tournament. It's a great opportunity for developing teams to get more games in the postseason. Last year, the last couple years I was doing the call on the Cascade Cup finals. It's great games. Kids are totally getting after it, and you're seeing kind of like the stars of tomorrow really stepping out.
Yeah, especially when you've got a young team. The more games, the better, especially when they have a postseason feel, even if it's not the state tournament that everybody wants to play in. Here's Lazat. He's a junior. Nice pass in the middle. Looking for the twirl and shot, but Dean Peterson not able to field it cleanly and get a shot on.
I mean, there's another nice look inside where, if that pass is right where it needs to be, his positioning is a little different. This could be 8-5 game. But, with a young team, those things sometimes just don't come that quickly yet. Backup goalie Ian Moore is now in the game for Grant.
Moore getting an opportunity here against on a pretty big stage here against this Central Catholic team. Be great chance for him. It's about a minute into this fourth quarter now. You could tell Grant was hungry for a win today as they lost their last 3 games against some of the best the state has to offer. They're trying to get a win before they head into the postseason. Grant's got it again. Looking to take it back down the other way with Micah Hall. Hall spinning back to his left. Able to get the clear for the Generals. Wilkinson gets a high five on Hall as he exits. We mentioned the goalie change for Grant, but it's still Ramirez Orozco in there in the cage for Central Catholic. And it's somehow leaked in. There's a goal. Grant gets another. That's number 9.
Hit his chest pad. The ball is lying on the ground in front of the goal. Referees are in position to make that call.
And that, the way
no one seems to be arguing, so I'm assuming that did make it in. My eyes are not what they used to be.
So they get the goal. I didn't see who that was, I'll admit, on that play. Looked like maybe Alex Bevan, 28. Hard to tell exactly, but goal for Grant. And the Generals building up to a 9-0 advantage here. Yanago, Dolezal, Sweeney with 2 goals. Wilkinson with a couple. Trueworthy, Hall, Kroger. And now we'll give the goal to Bevan for now. It's the breakdown for Grant in this game.
Balanced scoring. Love to see that.
Three games this year, they've hit double digits in the goal column. So they have had these explosive games this year offensively when they had the opportunities. Back on the right side looking for an opening here. This is Pitzer. Passing back down behind the cage. Spinning left, that's Bevan again. Now back on to Sub. He lobs it on to Raphael. Raphael being defended by Wall. Now back to the left side. And he's got the defense of Lucian McHale on him. Long pass across collected by Hall. Actually, that's Sub. Back on to Pitzer. Raphael again.
Grant in no hurry here.
They've killed more than a minute of time here in this possession. And a hard shot that sails to the left. Pitzer just a little bit off target. That would have been a tough one to handle for the goalie with the velocity that it had on that one. Looking to go high with it. Pass to the middle, nice feed, not able to finish. Sub couldn't get it done, but Grant maintains possession.
Nice two-man game, on ball, off ball from Grant right there to free up the feeder's hands and free up a player inside.
It was Benton Carter that was able to get it to Sub. A hard shot attempt is knocked away. Pitzer was trying to get some force behind that one. And now Central Catholic takes back over, able to come up with a stop there. Ramirez Orozco passing down to Trey Trimberger. Another young player, freshman in there. Trimberger lobbing it forward. Central Catholic's got the clear. They get it up to Dean Peterson, the senior here on senior day. His pass goes out of play. Looking for Dylan Schmick there, and possession goes back to Grant with less than 8 to go. Well, both these teams trying to kind of reload from last year. A Central Catholic team that lost 6 all-conference selections from last year to graduation. What's the biggest hurdle typically for young players to get over and not just have talent, but turn it into wins?
Adapting to the physicality is a huge thing, especially for talented underclassmen. A lot of times these guys are involved in club lacrosse. They're traveling around the country.
And they've got a goal. Sorry, Dave. Dean Peterson gets the goal for Central Catholic, the senior.
Central Catholic fans are riled up. Nice look in transition there. Catches Moore out of position at the end of that break. Getting back to it, though, so the kids are traveling. They're competing against kids from all over the country. On the club circuit, the physicality is a lot of times not the same as it is in high school ball. They're not playing against kids that are 3 years older than them. And so for the younger guys, like, that's really the issue, is adapting to the physicality.
And that's something that both these teams have tried to adapt to over the course of the season. As it's a Grant team that's also lost a lot of seniors from last year. 5 all-state players graduated last year from this Generals team. Nice pass left side. The shot is bounced in It's Josh Wildeman, the senior. How about that? Back-to-back goals, both from seniors for Central Catholic. To a huge ovation from the Rams faithful here. So a 2-13 record this year for Central Catholic, but 4 games this year they've lost by 2 goals. So those are games that certainly in striking distance to getting some wins. And you mentioned there's been a lot of opportunities today. They've left some goals on the board. They've got another chance here. Ian Moore's got the save with a shot from Owen Donegan. Moore picked it up. Kyle Olson with it. Trying to throw back to the middle to reset, but it's too high. That'll be an over and back there against Grant. See if Central Catholic can take advantage with Dean Peterson. Even numbers, kind of a 3-on-3 for right now. Peterson getting free, his shot off target, but a flag flies on the play. More than halfway through the 4th quarter, already 2 goals in this 4th for the Rams. And Grant will be a man down here.
Every goal counts in these situations as it plays into postseason seeding. Grant, as a higher-ranked team in the lax numbers, ratings, you know, if this is a 9-5 outcome versus a 9-2 outcome, could mean some very different postseason opportunities for Central.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, this is the finale here, so these numbers certainly matter as you're trying to split hairs and determine the rankings down the stretch. It'll be official postseason brackets and rankings announced tomorrow from the OHSLA. There's a shot. Moore kicks it away. Gus Lefevre looking to put one in there. So Ian Moore coming into the cage and challenged early, but now he's stepping up and making some plays in the cage. To the middle, and it's finished off by Lazat. 3 goals for CC in the span of a couple minutes here.
It's a great look inside. The difference in what you're seeing there and in the last goal that they scored as well from what we're seeing earlier, both of those players on a C-curl back towards the ball, enabling them to protect their sticks and catch the ball, even though they're kind of covered, use their bodies to shield their sticks so that they're able to release the shots. A lot easier to finish that way than when you're inside and your back's to goal. It's a lot harder to catch that ball, control it, turn around, get the shot off where you want it to go.
And Lazat got it to where he wanted it to go on that play, which is the net, as he's a second-team all-conference selection from a year ago that's back and been a consistent scoring threat for this Central Catholic team this year.
Great loose ball there and face off from McHale too.
Yeah,
Central's playing the end. Gotta appreciate that.
Yeah.
Love the hustle.
Down 9-0, it felt like the game had slipped away, but they have ramped up the intensity and got 3 goals in a row. Looking for more. London Talbot, he's a senior as well. On the right side over to Peterson. Crayford. Pass had a lot of velocity on it. He was trying to get it to Peterson, but mishandled. Possession goes back to Central Catholic, though, over the sideline with 4:17 left. Rolak goes back to Talbot. Talbot heading right. He wanted a shot there, had it knocked away. Rolak off a screen, fires, and Moore's got the save. Quickly up to Rabbitoh.
Dangerous situation here. Central subs off all 3 midfielders in transition, giving Grant a 4-on-3, but Grant does not capitalize.
Yeah, there was a stretch in this game when Grant had a lot of rhythm. They were finishing off those plays, or at least getting clean shots, but not right now. 5 of Grant's goals came in the last 4 minutes of the second quarter. Raphael tossing in the X. Now the pass and the shot. There it is. Grant's back on track with Benton Carter, the junior, and it's a 10-3 lead. Grant back up 7. And that is the 8th different Grant player to score now on their 10 goals. And the 4th game this year, Grant has hit the 10-goal mark. Fake pass, and then the shot bounced over. Crafty play there by Calvin Mackey to give himself some space there, the senior.
Love that fake.
Yeah.
Great run out by the Central Catholic goalie. We're quick out of the box to clear.
Trying to get it up to Lefebvre over the line. It's possession to Central Catholic. Lefebvre launching forward on to Peterson. Pass is deflected and picked up by Lefebvre.
Getting to see him play a little more offense now.
Lazat circles around and tosses it on to Denny. Here's Denny. He's just a freshman. Fires the shot. Nice stick save by Ian Moore. Quickly looking for a transition opportunity the other way. Bamer.
Denny, the freshman there, taking a big hit on that shot, bounces right back up, runs the field to get back on defense before matching his man to the sub box. Great effort and hustle there.
There's Carter. Just had a goal about a minute ago. Nice move. Heading to his left. Defense slides well. Ball's tossed back into the X. Grant swings it into Raphael. His shot misses. Just off to the left by a touch. 1:38 to go. Here's Pitzer. He fires and misses. Heading towards the crease, and the shot knocked away by Ramirez Orozco. Battling to the end. Coming up with some big-time saves in there. A dangerous pass. Ball popped in the air behind the net. And it slowly rolls over the line. And the ball given to Central Catholic to the chagrin of the Grant players in the area. And that long pass sails over the sideline. Possession going back to Grant. Connor Allfrey lobbing the pass on to Wilkinson. Now it's over to Pitzer. Battling through. Pass is collected by Raphael, who rifles it in. Johnny Raphael puts it in the goal, and 11-3 is the score now for Grant.
Seen that a handful of times today. Dodge forward, kick the ball down to the attack, move it to the backside. Guy on the backside catches the ball loaded, ready to shoot. Tough for the goalie to get his feet set to face that shot and make that save. Good team offense by Grant right there.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot today. Sharing the ball, making the extra pass, and finding some clean shots and winning faceoffs. Kind of done that from the start. It's been a big part of their success. And with 25 seconds is a timeout on the field. Coming down the home stretch here.
Just see a lot of times in this situation on senior night, coach wants to let his seniors finish the game on the field. It's probably what this timeout is for.
Yeah. Yeah, the seniors for this Central Catholic team: Dean Peterson, London Talbot, Xander Souls, Fletcher Heinley, Josh Wildeman, and Patrick Denny. Two of them captains in Talbot and Denny. They're playing their final regular season game. Playing here at Hidden Creek Park in a Rams uniform. Maybe haven't had the win-loss total that they wanted here this season, but they've certainly done a lot for this program over the 4 years and helping to build the foundation for what's a strong future for the Rams under head coach John Finnegan. We saw them get down 9-0 in this game and put together a pretty strong fourth quarter here.
Yeah, I mean, second half was 4-3 Grant. You know, and Lacrosse can kind of be that way, but when you get down, you know, unless it's hard to put together the run to get back in the game if you don't have a guy who can, you know, consistently come up with the faceoffs.
Wow, what a move and what a finish. Beautifully done, working through traffic by Calvin Mackey. The hesitation, the dodge, and he puts it in. 10 different Grant players have now scored, putting up these 12 goals. So Grant trying to get a momentum boost, get their 9th win of the year here, heading into postseason play. You mentioned earlier, Dave, but they are sitting at number 12 in the rankings. We'll see how the bracket shakes out. Grant's win here will improve them to 9-11 on the season, 6-4 in conference play. Central Catholic will drop to 2-14 and 1-9 in Columbia Conference play this season. And with 8 seconds, it's a whistle, and the foul is against Grant. Down to 3 seconds. London Talbot, the senior, fires the shot. Ian Moore's got the save, and the game's over. 12-3 final. Grant comes away with the win over Central Catholic here on senior day. Well, both teams and fan bases had a lot to cheer about, but ultimately Grant, it felt like that kind of 4-minute stretch in the second quarter propelled Grant to this victory here.
They, the man down situations in the first quarter where Grant had 5 penalties really may be what enabled Central to kind of stay in the game with them at that point. And Central had a great time of possession in the first half. But yeah, as you are saying, when Grant ran off that run of goals, especially the dagger at the end of the second quarter, it was tough for Central to get back into it in the second half.
And it is ultimately Grant that comes away with a very impressive 12-3 win. Central Catholic obviously disappointed at the result here, but it is senior day, and it's also a celebration of what they've done this season and what they've done throughout the course of their careers. They got goals from a couple seniors today, Dean Peterson and Josh Wildeman. August Lazat had the other goals for the Rams. Well, still have lacrosse coverage coming your way in the future on Oregon Sports Beat, and it's soon on Friday. Postseason lacrosse coming up right around the corner as the playoff bracket and rankings will be released tomorrow. Go to OregonSportsBeat.com for more information on the full schedule. Dave Sanford, thanks for joining us. We appreciate having you on the broadcast. You did a great job as always. And
pleasure to be out here with you.
Yeah, everybody watching knows Dave Sanford. I'm sure we'll hear your voice and see you around lacrosse fields all over the state. Thanks for your time. I'm Chris Clayton for our executive producer, Ryan Johnson. 12-3 final, Grant beats Central Catholic here on Oregon Sports Beat.